sister's indigo background.
What's popping? What's popping, y'all? I love like your background makes me happy. What's popping? Welcome to Transmutation Station, episode 3. I'm here with the lovely co-host, Miss Majestic Magi. What's popping, Maggie? Mark.
Nothing. Grand Rising. How's everybody doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. You look great.
Thank you. You look fabulous too. I love this hair on you.
I'm feeling a lot. I know. There's sometimes I just want to shave my head, man.
Your hair always on point. Like you got like I always like your hair is everything. Every time I see you.
Thanks. I don't know. I think we're just the hardest on ourselves. Or you get like tired of. I don't know. You're scared. Like, man, I wish I had somebody to do my hair every day. If I had somebody to do my hair, if I had the only simplest luxury, I probably would want somebody to do my hair every day.
That's real. That's real. They have to do it right.
And like, this is what you're gonna wear. We have this fine outfit, and we're gonna do your hair. And I'm like, okay.
That does sound pretty awesome. All right, today, guys, we are talking about the light at the end of the tunnel. We're talking about the process of, I don't know, what would you call it?
Just total transformation, stepping into your new life. What does this picture look like for you? I mean, I believe we're out the corral gates right now, and it's like a shake or move time. Shit or get off the pot, kids.
Only for the real ones.
You what?
I said it's only for the real ones. Either you
right.
It's right.
Yeah, and since we're on Transmutation Station, we're talking about transmutation, transmuting the energy. It's all in the way that you choose to look at things, right? It's our mindset. So yeah, change can be scary, but it also can be exciting in the same aspect. So it's kind of like, instead of all the things that you're worried about, in the sense of how scary it might feel, maybe it's like as simple as getting excited for the change and the transition. Because if you're really weighing out the pros and the cons, it's like we're laying down the old foundations of our old life, and we're stepping into our new life, and that's very exciting and what's scary at the same time. But it's good scary. It's roller coaster scary. It's that adrenaline. It's that rush before you get to the top and you're gonna drop. And then you're like, hello, bring it. And then all of a sudden, the coaster rolls in, and it stopped, and your heart's still beating. You're like, dang, that was wild. Let's do this again,
It is that. It's, oh, man. I'm so happy that you put it that way. It is an adrenaline rush. So it's interesting for adrenaline junkies.
Well, it's kind of like if we number that in phases, it's kind of like, one could be how far you want to go, like I'm never calling you again. Number 2 can be just pull me in a little, just roll me in kind of halfway, and number 3 is like, I'm just dropping right off the grid.
I'll take that.
So what's transitioning in your life?
Man, listen.
You've been popping off though. Look at, there's the fresh air. So
man, my mindset, my belief in myself, like my mindset. Like I think the hardest thing to change, okay, so I told you when we call, and in order for there to be new, there must be complete destruction of the old. So like I had to, to completely let go of like my, for lack of better terms, programming, what I wanted, my reality. I had to let go of what was my reality and realize that I can have better than that. And it sounds fun, yeah, you can have the life you want, but you know what you like. So it's like you're letting go of the sure for something that's not actually tangible yet. It's like a gamble.
Yeah.
Adrenaline rush. Yeah,
And totally seeing, and I guess envisioning, totally seeing yourself there. And sometimes, I guess a lot of times, personally for me, it's almost like as much as great of a manifester as I am, sometimes it's hard to see yourself there when a lot of us are self-sacrificers in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? So that's part of that scary reality for me. And it's not really scary, it's exciting, but for a lot of times you don't really think about, okay, well, what is it that I really want? What does this next phase of my life really look like? You know what I mean?
I tell people all the time, I'm a recovering help addict, and I mean that when I say that, like a self-sacrificer. Like, you know, I had hurt myself just so other people could be happy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's true.
Boundaries were a big lesson in that. So in the transmutation, in the trying to get to the light at the end of the tunnel, I had to learn how to set boundaries. It was just
Yes, me too. Me actually, yes. And and it's very hard because in the grander scheme of things, like you had said, it's like we're undoing all of those blocks, and we're undoing all of those old traditions and those beliefs and what that looks like, and what everybody thinks it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when we're speaking on yeah, it doesn't, when we said it before, it doesn't matter who it is. It's like you only can help people to the capacity that you can, but they also got to help themselves. Action, you know, actions and steps. And you have to know when enough's enough, you know what I mean? And sometimes even as a reader, or, you know, metaphysicians, it's kind of like one thing I can't do as a reader is, you know, fix it all for you. I can give you the what I'm picking up at the time, and I can give you, you know, ideas and action steps and validation on some things. But one thing I cannot do is come in there and say, okay, poof, it's all fixed for you, and I'm pull my hand and I'm gonna take it to the other side. No, we have to, but there's glory and sweat in doing that work. It's kind of like when you're at the end of that tunnel, it's like there's a victory, or there's a personal reward, and it's not that that's what you're searching for, but it's kind of like any hard obstacle you've ever had in your life and you didn't know how you're going to get through it. You're kind of like, whoa, dang, I made it. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like you were navigating through muddy waters, and just kind of like this, like, am I going to get there? Am I going to get there? And really, that's why I always say your soul knows what to do before you know what to do a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And I think we just can't be afraid to actually take action, and, you know, hey, what's that one song, you can pick your next move or live with it? That's from Kanye. Wait, there's a line, or remember he did that song for Taylor Swift, about, what the heck's that called? I always find something wrong. You've been putting up with my shit for way too long. It's on there. He made it right after he did that Taylor Swift shit, which was whatever.
My homework.
But I like Kanye. I do, because I think Kanye has Jesus, vibrational energy of Jesus. Really, he's not afraid to just be himself and jump. He jumps all in the fire, like a do now, worry later kind of cat. Now that could be on either side of the spectrum, where it could get you in trouble, but you always recover, right? So it's kind of like, shit, I'm just gonna do something. Just do it.
So listen, I gotta try to remember to respond to everything that we just talked about. So going back to
I'm looking at the comments real quick while you guys can see me. I'm on my phone, because everybody knows I've been having this frequency issue.
My sister is FaceTiming me right now. She is dick bucket. Decline. Get the fuck out of here. All right. So, okay. All right. Go read the comments. Okay. So one, you said, we talked about people who just don't like. I have this quote. I release those who do not try. This chick named Victasia, Tara Witte. I listen to her for like motivational, like brain reprogram. So she has this saying that says, "I release those who do not try." And shout out to Boss Baby Jess, because she posted something on Instagram that was similar to this. But people, like, I only help people who want help. I learned how to. I used to try to help people who didn't want help, and even the people who want help, like, they gotta actively show me they want help. Because if you don't really want help, I'm not gonna fucking help you, because I don't have that fucking energy. I don't want to do it. And I used to, like, so as I'm in my help addict, you know, clean up. That's one of the things that I learned about myself. Like, and so it's and that's the hard thing in and of itself. Like, learning how to help people that only really want to be helped, and what that looks like, and how do you know somebody really wants help. So that's one thing. All right. So that's one thing I wanted to respond to. So the second thing I wanted to say to you was, this kind of like a little messy question. So I think that a lot of readers, like, as a reader, what do you do when you get that person that keeps coming to you for the same thing? Like, you know, they don't want help. Like, they're just absolutely not listening to you. But does he love me? Or are we gonna be together? Or am I gonna get this house? And I told you I can't. Like, what do you do when you get that person? How do you handle that person? Because at that, you know, we have a calling. So it's a calling to help.
Okay.
So you have that need to want to help this person. But it's also a job too. And so I think the two always conflict for me, because I'm not going to take your money if you're not going to listen to me. Right. But my messy point is, so one, that's the question. How do you feel about that? But two, how do you feel about the readers that do just take people money and know that they taking people money? How you feel about
I can't. Yeah. I have strong integrity when it comes to what I do, and I don't mess around. I don't waver on certain things. Like, I'm very mutable, but there's some things that I have my own guidelines and my own rules, respectfully, and I do not waver on some things. And to me,
gotta cut my ear.
Anybody that's ever gotten a reading from me, I'll always say, and I sincerely mean it, if you have any questions or you think of something later, reach out to me and I'll always answer you, and that's just saying, if you, at a boundary limit, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I always offer that, and I sincerely mean it. So anybody that I've ever talked to or got, they could validate that I always answer text messages from people. But to go into further in depth into your actual question, no, I cut them off, and because I respectfully though, because I tell them I can't do the work for you. I can't make your decisions. I cannot make your decisions.
They want you to make the decisions for them.
Yeah, so I can't
make a decision for a person, because so in my consultations, the girl was like, "What do you think I should do?" I was like, "What do you think you should do?" I can't.
Yes. Okay, like basically, you're giving different forks in the road. You're giving options and avenues, and really a lot of it is about your mindset. And we talked about that before. I've learned that the hard way personally. So it's kind of like, what is it? What's the outcome that you want? What is the outcome you expect? And sometimes when people, it's releasing control. They have to release the control and let the universe, like the Jesus take the wheel, universe take the wheel, and then know that. And if the control part too is like, if somebody wants something so bad, if it's not meant for you, it's not going to be yours, because you know what I mean.
Release control. That's the worst.
Right.
Power and control, the worst.
Right. And they don't even realize, and you don't even realize that that's part of it, because when we think about the word control, just like we think about the word ego, automatically it's kind of just like that one phase mindset. It's like, oh my God, control. I'm not controlling. I'm not trying to boss people around. No, it's big. There's always bigger. It's like bigger than that. You know what I mean? And so it's kind of looking at things from all sides of the spectrum. But yeah, respectfully, I'll tell them, because anything in excess, or if you're like obsessively getting readings, that's not good, because then you're opening up holes for all this. You don't know who you're getting readings from. And I always tell people too, and this is not saying nothing bad about anybody. If I have any great advice, even when I was doing shows, or if you're looking up online for a reader, there's enough for everybody. And don't just like a tattoo. Don't just pick it and stick it, because not everybody's energy is for you. So kind of look through it, read through it, and set it, and set the intention with the universe. Thank you for guiding me to the best frequency that serves me for the advice and guidance that I need at this time, or something along the lines. There's no wrong way to do it. And then kind of look through, read, and trust yourself with whatever reader you're drawn back to. Because if you're just running around like a neighborhood or a block and trying to find somebody on the side of the road, it's like you're going to get what you pay for, man. And in the sense of, you don't ever know anybody's true intention. So, and I learned, even before I've gotten readings myself, and I've got at certain fairs and events, and I wish somebody would have told me that like years ago, because there's certain energies that just don't jive, you know what I'm saying? And then it's kind of like, you have to think about the intention of the reader themselves and their integrity versus, versus a vulnerable person who is desperate for answers, and they're going and they're like, all over the place, and that energy
It's
plays.
nothing that makes me matter. Like, if you want to see me Hulk smash, rage out on somebody, take advantage of somebody who is vulnerable. I'll lose my shit. Like, I
Yeah.
won't lose my shit if you hit me. I won't lose my shit. I won't if you
Right.
just somebody who can. Oh my God! When I say I'll
Right.
fuck out, I come up like, because I don't like that. I hate people. I hate predatory people. Like, I don't like this,
Yes.
but I hate that shit. Like, that's
Yeah.
a big thing of me. And so I see that. I definitely see that a lot in the spiritual, the and as they say, tarot land. But and so that goes back to a question. I think we may have talked about it before. So are you, who do you blame, the dealer or the addict? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it could go both. It could go both ways, because but a lot of times, like I said, if people are new to getting readings, or new in the metaphysical experience, and that's why I do. I'll tell everybody. I tell everybody that's the knowledge and stuff I share. It may be simple knowledge. It may be, it's like common sense isn't always that simple, right? Or people say, but the thing about it is that everything's a learning curve, and you learn as you go. But and you don't know till you know. So, like I said, hey, this is funny. There, even people doing energy work and stuff. I've literally seen people like at fairs, and that's funny. God help me, because I would laugh, like I would pick it up right away, and I would be like, oh my God, like, does this person know like what's really going on? Because I've literally seen people like get on top of people, like on their, like have them lay down on their backs and do all this very, was that thing feels like very sexual, like, yeah, like very, no, like very like sexual shit going on, like through the energy, and these people don't even know what the hell is going on, and I'm like at fairs watching, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm crazy, it's like so cringy, and you're like, and I would sit at my booth, I would be sitting at my booth in between readings, and excited, like, but in my mind, like trying to send positive, like, not that it was all negative, but it's kind of, it's almost like they were getting like spiritually raped and didn't even realize it. And I'm sitting there trying to like transmute the energy. And then I've also experienced, where when you're in those types of environments too, you've also experienced like very, just beautiful energy where you can just feel the energy transition and like shoot through the whole area and like warm all of our hearts. So it's like full circle healing. So it's not all negative. You just have to use your discernment. And like I said, sometimes you don't know till you know, but I definitely do not recommend obsessively getting readings. That is not the no. And even ethically, as a practitioner myself, I will not read. I mean, I will answer questions, you know what I mean? Like I said, I'll answer people's questions, but if somebody calls me like the next day or the next week for another reading, I will tell them no, because I feel like there has to be at least a 3-month, I would say at least a 3-month grace period. That's even stretching it. You got to allow things to play out.
Yeah.
And when, you know what I mean? It's kind of like you have to allow things to play out. 3 months is probably, the shortest amount of time, I would say, but anywhere from 3 to 6 months, because and that's that whole control thing we're talking about. And we have to be adults. What did you say about in one of the ones? I love that, because I keep thinking about it, about people pulling people's emotional responsibility cards. It's like, yeah, you got to be your emotional responsibility for yourself. And it's just the evolutionary experience in actually living in this life, nobody's going to be able to make your decisions for you your whole life. You're going to have to be able to pull, that's a maturity.
So that accountability, but the
right.
fact that you allow somebody to make the decision for you, you're accountable for that shit. So you can't run from the shit. Just make your own decisions. I can't, and that's my thing. That's how I live my life. Like I'll always ask myself, is this what I want to do? Because I'll be damned if I die because of some shit.
Yeah.
What do? I'll be fucking goddamn. Nah, she went out.
Right.
But she wanted to do her life. That was her life.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and plus too, like you said, those are the vulnerable people, or the naive people, and we all can be naive at times, clearly, because we're, like I said, we're all learning. But that's predatory shit. You know, in all environments, you know, there's churches, there's you know, there's schools. People are literally anything that's of unhealthy nature. There's predatory people all over in that sense, and it's really sad to see people get taken advantage of, because how many times in your life where you just at a point where you just needed somebody to talk to, or you needed somebody to reel you back to stable ground, you know, and say, hey, look, just calm yourself down and you know, like we're talking, transition that energy and keep it so somebody can allow themselves to think clear. But even a while ago, remember, God helped me too. I was laughing about this, but it makes sense about when you said, do you mess with the dealer or the addict or the dealer? But there was a couple, they literally got jail time for selling tickets to heaven. But I was trying to figure out who the fuck is going to buy tickets to heaven.
Like I wonder.
I've been real bad. Let me cash out all my 401k. Let's get 10. Who is going to literally buy a ticket to heaven? But then that takes an account to, you know, like the cult shit and the David Koresh type stuff, and that's a whole nother level. And I think that even when I was on the Peace Dealers webinar the other night, that's where we can delve into that whole possession thing. Because well, honey,
so I gotta watch that. I've been so busy, I haven't been there. I'm so sorry. Like I gotta watch.
You're fine.
I was so excited to see that you were on the webinar.
Yeah, and it was very exciting. I loved it. We were getting interference then too. And I was able to speak with the me, Peace Dealer, and Hood Mystic. And I love Hood Mystic's energy because it's kind of just serene, you know, very calming.
Seen him one time. He seems cool.
You know, he's very cool. He's very cool, and he has a very peaceful energy. And so yeah. But I mean, shoot, there's avenues and avenues and avenues about all the things that we speak on, you know. Literally.
I had a thought, but I lost it. I don't know how you keep letting me lose it.
That happens a lot. But then it does happen a lot, but you know what? And then I will say, oh, I'll come back around. It'll pop back in. I feel like too right now in this energy that a lot of people releasing all those suppressed emotions, things like that. Because if, you know, from the outside, it's everything from the outside, and you know, things are coming, what's in the dark comes to light. So what's in your, you know, what needs to be released is pushing forward to the surface. And I even noticed too, this was pretty wild. I had an epiphany the other day. I was like, dang, okay, so remember when we were talking about, so singly, collectively, and as a whole, even if they're not in your bloodline, right? So if you healed a part of you, Hope Dealer, that I needed to heal in me, right? If you healed it first, then basically you collectively sent that energy to restore that to my soul. Isn't that wild to think about something like that? That's some deep shit.
Yeah.
But it's okay. So living and past, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like anybody that's like, hey, right now, anybody that's in my frequency or in your frequency or our viewers' frequencies watching, a part of you that you've healed in yourself, you are restoring that energetic fragment back to the souls that have crossed before us, and past and living, even if they're not in your bloodline.
So let me tell you this. So I'm walking down the street yesterday. So I've been I've been really cool, and I've been, you know, just living, like really stepping into my best life. So but I've been spending a lot of time with myself, and I literally said to myself the other day, I said, I feel like I'm rewriting the past and the future at the same time. Like and it's an interesting process. But like if you go to, we gotta have Ann Rising on here, because you know she talks about, like, she's a dimension hopper. She hops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like I listened to one of her I just listened to one of her videos, and just it's just literally a decision that changes a complete, you know, from one dimension or one parallel to the next. And
A
so
timeline, yeah, to a whole, yeah.
yeah, so it's pretty cool. And I really feel like, okay, I was like, yeah, this was a timeline shift. I'm like, this shit hot. But it's interesting. It's definitely it's interesting, but it's not like to be that. So that's one thing. So it's an interesting feeling, but to be that chain breaker, to be that history rewriter and the past rewriter, and like that process again, like not to try to fear monger you, but
It's a scary process. It is.
yeah.
Because, and here's the thing, and I have my Marcyisms or my majestic Magiisms, and when I talk about like shaken to awaken, so think about it. If you healed that piece of you, the people that were hanging on, like even if they're close in our environment, they're all of a sudden, and it's not saying, it's not wishing this on them, but it was a big epiphany because I won't mention names, but there's a person in my life that it's a family member that was hanging on to an old situation. I just released an old situation, right? And went through a bunch of transitions, but he's sick. You know what I mean? Because all that energy is wanted to stay stuck. And so it has to be released. Like he literally, but I think it's because I riled up the gremlins to pop out to the surface. And it's crazy to even think, like, I don't even think of myself that way. I woke up with that epiphany to see it that way one day. And I was like, holy crap, man. You know what? We don't ever realize like how, I'm not just Marcy and you're not just Leanne. You know what I mean? It's like, we're doing big things out here. Everybody is.
And
So
this like a major key alert. Like the more you help yourself, the more you change like everything around you. And I know it sounds counterintuitive, especially
yes,
if you like to help, because like maybe that's like our kryptonite, our wanting to help. So we, like we don't help ourselves. But the more that you help yourself, the more that you work on yourself, the more that you give to yourself, the more that you change yourself, you change everything around you.
you're helping. That's how you can help them. You know what I mean? That you are helping them. So, and that was the whole, like, what you think isn't. So when we're just giving all of our fruit and all of our baskets to everybody around us, thinking that's that whole transition, that transitionary and transition of the Jesus energy, because everybody thinks, oh, sacrifice yourself. I think that was the misinterpretation of that teaching, honestly, in a lot of ways, because in what is it? You can feed 18 people, but only if you can feed 20 and only 18 want to eat, are you going to stop yourself? Because they'll come eventually when they want to. But you can't. And that's one thing that is very important to understand and realize, is that when you're stepping into yourself, you're raising that vibration, and you are healing the people that you want to help. You are. And if they choose to stay stuck, we still all have to walk through our own muddy ass waters, and it's not comfortable. No, it's not. But
and that goes into leaving people behind as you grow, that's part of getting rid of the old to go to the new. Like, if they're not trying to help you, you ain't want no help. Let's fuck it. I gotta leave you.
Well, just think about it. It's no different. I mean, think about it. When you were a little girl, when we were little kids, and you never thought in a million years that little person that you played with across the street or next door, they would never not be in your life, right? And you're lucky if you still do talk to some people. That's common knowledge, but it's like, just think about that feeling, because we go through those stages, those evolutionary stages all throughout our lives. Jobs, transitions, people, it's just like, it is like the Wizard of Oz, literally. Somebody's always coming into your life. There's always going to be the witch and the flying monkeys. There's always going to be something trying to pull you off your path, like to tempt you. That's temptation, right? And then you have to know,
not ever anything that you don't want. That, like, just remember, right. I want people to understand that temptation is not ever anything. Like, temptation is what you want. It's the thing that you want. That's temptation. Like, it's because if it's not tempted, people think of temptation as, well, it's like, it's gonna be easy to turn down. Nah, it's not. Like,
no.
But I'm sorry, I had to
go. No, you're good. You're right though. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why we're here, to chime in with each other, my friend. Reward yourself. See? I got a little glare on this. But yeah, so reward yourself. That's actually that. Okay, so that brings us to saying, when we spoke like a few minutes prior, is like I feel like we're all at that corral stage where, you know, you can bum rush through that gate and it's blind faith time. But I think all the seeds have literally been, a lot of seeds have been planted. It's harvest time. We're in it's hard to believe we're already in the fall, you know.
No, I love harvest time. I was just telling somebody, I love fall because that's the time of the best fashion.
I know you can be comfortable. Yeah, it's not too hot, it's not too cold.
Yeah. So you could put some nice cool stuff on. But
hey J Lo, I'm just looking at the comments. Thank you everyone in the chat. We love you all. Yeah, that is wild, J Lo. I had that reckoning, that realization myself for sure. And it is pretty wild, very wild. But when you evolve and grow, you're evolving and helping other people around you. And that's a beautiful thing. So like even the people we can't help, it's just saying, okay, when you're pushing forward, you are helping them. But there's also, you know, we have free will. We're responsible for our own actions and things like that. So, and some people choose to do some things the harder way.
My free will to nobody else. A lot of people get a free will away, like for free. Fuck that. Not happening.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I know. And how sad is it to think that so many people have so much control over other people's lives?
No,
that is so sad. You know, man, fuck all that. No, not no more. I've been a victim of it. I'm not even going to use the word victim because we're all learning and growing. But, you know, but when you're, as an adult, you're responsible for yourself. You're emotionally responsible. And yes, everybody needs somebody or needs that confidant or that one person that they can trust and things like that. But really, at the end of the day, you just need a great support system. If you have a good support system, and sometimes that's just sometimes solely is ourselves, and that's when I think you're going through that awakening period. But that's so you can truly trust yourself. And then after, you know what I mean? It's not, everybody thinks they're being punished at times. I don't think it's that you're being punished. I think that it's kind of like you've always, you know, you have to know your own strength. Like I keep wanting to go to the Wizard of Oz. It's, you know, it's like you've always had it all along, and God's not punishing you, or the universe isn't punishing you. It's saying that I can't make the magic happen for you if you don't believe in this divine love that's displayed right here in your heart. If you don't feel that and know that you're never alone, you have to, you know, that's ninja energy, man. God is a ninja. Just when you think God's not working and you're by yourself, that's that ninja for you. Working in the shadows.
People go out and look for themselves only to find themselves. Like
yes.
They look for themselves, and I realized that I'm sitting and I'm just like, because that was my journey. It was just like I looked high, I looked low, I did this, I did that, I did everything.
Yeah.
And the one thing I came back to was myself. So we walk for it, like, and I heard something, you know, like you're gonna go outward until you realize you have to go inward. Like
yeah, well, and they're so, you know, and sometimes I think we want to run through because we just want it to be done and over, or you know, you want to get to that fast, you know, you want to get to that, but once you get to that top of that mountain, then there's still always a level to climb. So why don't just stop and kind of be in that moment and enjoy everything around you, because I think that is really the most precious parts. You know what I'm saying? Those are the most precious things. It's not about how fast can I get there. You know, it's just really paying attention and looking at all the beautiful scenery and giving yourself that compassion too. I don't think a lot of us don't give ourselves that true compassion to just say, oh my God, wow. Hey, you know, let's wrap them self hugs. Ooh. Self hugs. It's like, whoa, you know, be proud of yourself, because you're truly not the complete fuck up you think you are. You've been through some major shit. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, I'm not the only one. But there, yeah, and a lot of times I'm making this up. The drop sink. I was gonna say I've been drop sunk in certain situations that I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. But I was like, whoa, I'm here. But you know, it's interesting, and it's actually in this moment I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the collective. I'm very excited for my next stage is in my own life. It only, you know what I mean? It's like there's always good. I just got emotional. I'm all emotional, but I'm just excited. Even, you know, and we're all fearful of some things because you don't know what's going to be on the other side. But yeah, but that stuff that's going to go. That's going with life's moving with or without you. So
left behind. Don't get left behind, head ass. Life is moving with or without you. People think the world stop for them, and then they be like fucked up when they don't.
Well, yeah, life's going to shift and move. You're not going to be able to stop something that is going to happen, or you're not going to be able to change somebody's mind on certain things, or whatever situation you're in. If it don't feel right, it's not fucking right. I always there's a whole gauge and a measure that I like to tell people too. It's like when you you know how you used to be excited and you get excited to go to a job or you know, all that. If that and then you wake up and you're like, oh fuck this, I don't even feel like going in. That means that time's done there. It is done there. You know what I mean? It's that's like that, you know.
That's a scary feeling though. That's a scary feeling because then you have to face your truth and you have to quit and you have to start all the way over again.
I know, and nobody, that's like paperwork. Nobody wants to do paperwork. We don't want to train. We don't want to do no paperwork. We don't want to do all the stuff that we don't like. There's something everybody doesn't like to do. It's like, but then I just kind of, you know, like I love just as simple as I love doing laundry, but I don't always like to put it away, you know. But then I was like, you know, I love doing laundry. So then I was like, okay, well, let's make a little, you know, it's like there's always pros and cons, but you know, but that's something that, you know, there's always going to be things we don't want to do or, you know, but you just focus on, you know, enjoy the things that you can and just find a way to transition that energy, make a game out of it or whatever, the things you don't want to do. I get highly agitated with all like the business ends, like the paperwork and things like that. I don't like doing all that, but I don't think anybody does, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I don't. So something like, and I'll be honest with you, something Dolo said to me changed my whole entire life. Like changed my whole entire life. It was on a video. Shout out to the Flight Boss bitch. Flight Boss bitch, you know, what's your air?
I know. I love Dolo. I watch Dolo. I like Dolo a lot.
He talked about shifting because, you know, I'm all about shifting your mind frame. He talked about shifting your mind frame from, you know, thinking like he used work. And that was a thing for me, especially at that time. He was like, stop looking at where you're at in your job as defining who you are. Think of it as a means to an end, something that helps you get what you like. That's a tool that's helping you get to what you really want. So it like I'm happy to go into work every day because I know the more I go into work, the more I'll the closer I'll get to obtaining the thing that I want. Like hit you. And so like that's what I just thought of when you said that. It's just like the idea of like change the way you look at shit, change the way you look at shit.
Well, yeah, no, and I agree with that 100% because if you have, you know, if you're going to work and you're just existing to go and to get that paycheck on Friday and that little just the rat race of it all, you know what I mean, or what you're supposed to do. It's kind of like, no, if you have a, you know, it's easier if you have a goal in it, a goal in that sense of okay, well, I'm doing this for that. You're right. For sure. But it's sad to think that people are afraid to transition out of that whole security stage, or they're afraid of, man, I've had money before, I've been broke before, you know what I mean? It's like, and just when it's kind of like, and there's always an angel around the corner. You have to know that. You have to, like, if you're asked to make some of those hardest changes, I think people are afraid. They're afraid of actually sinking, but I think that's when you actually swim. It's like when you're at that precipice where you're the most fearful, the most frightened of making those decisions of where you ever been. That's everything you're grasping for, is like literally through that walking across that road.
And it's
because everything like stops and blocks around you. Everything stops and blocks. Like personally, I feel like I'm supposed to go somewhere. I'm not supposed to be in this place right now, right? Mm-hmm. Not to say that not forever, but I'm supposed to, because everything, it's like, no, it's not, it doesn't have to be all scary. It's the same analogy for going to the job. It's like when everything feels stagnant and stuck, it means you have to shift or move, right? It's not, and you're not being punished. It's like, oh my God, what's wrong? Because we can automatically go to that whole thought and say, somebody's doing this to me. Ain't nobody doing shit to you. That's God telling you. That's the universe telling you. Because first of all, you can't give energy to things. I mean, it's up to you what you believe in, right? But I don't give. I mean, I know when there's shady energy around, but I don't give it energy to say, okay, this is going to control me. You know what I mean? So I just like, nope, I'm not moving. I'm going to look at it from a different perspective. It's about the mind. It's about transitioning how you're seeing things. Totally.
Listen, and that's I told you that's the hardest lesson. That's the hardest lesson that we talk about. We shout out to the Magic Mike, shout out to the Peace Dealer. We talk about being in the video game and playing the big monster. Woo, bitch. The mind, the shifting the mind state is one of the hardest tests.
It is very much. And then, and that is part of this whole energy and this whole transition too. And if anybody, you know what, if I can recommend something, to kind of solidify everything we're talking about, it's like that movie, What Dreams May Come, because you're already functioning on every timeline, and and there is no wrong choice. There is no wrong choice. And even when we were talking about, Leanne, even when we were talking about the times that we had to walk through the dark to get to the light, I've been drugged before. I did drugs before. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, but you're also walking in those phases of your life, or the things that you're in your life at that time. You're the light walking through the dark. Okay. So it's like, and that's also too, it doesn't define anything about who anybody is. It's saying at that time in your life, you had to go through that to be to where you're at right now. You know what I'm saying? All of that, the people you you helped somebody in that situation, and you also helped yourself gain that knowledge. So that's why they say, let your past go. Your past or yesterday doesn't even count. The only thing you take from yesterday is what the hell made you happy or what you did good that day. Somebody bought my breakfast yesterday.
Hey, congratulations!
and then I gave a guy a scratch off at the I'm not bragging about it, but then somebody let me. Then it's like I always kind of like randomly I just like hand somebody a scratch off or something if I'm at the 7-Eleven. So and that's the whole thing. It's like it's just mindset, it's just the energy, and yeah, we have good and bad days, but I think that once you have that under control, if you can, to the best of your ability, which I think that would be the ego, right? So you're balancing the ego and the higher self. But once you have that ego in check to where you can choose in that moment how you're going to think about a situation you just experienced. Whether you're taking it personally, like you run into an asshole at the gas station, or whether you're going to take it personally, or is that on them? That's on them. That ain't you.
Personally, like,
you know what I'm saying?
Personally, like it be like this sometimes. Don't act like you ain't never had a bad day in your life. That's how I feel about it. Don't act like some shit.
Right. But everything's not, everything. But a lot of times, even emotionally vulnerable people, they'll take that. It's like that was a hard lesson for me because of all the water in a lot of ways to not take everything personal. You know what I mean? It's not
Yeah, that is. But you're conscious of it. You probably.
I did once.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I talk about the recipe banks, once you got that little flag that goes up, like we even talking about being defensive and things, it's like then you recognize it when it's going down, and it's kind of like there's another piece to the puzzle. All right, here we go. Doom.
All right. Damn, I keep losing thoughts. They must not be meant for this conversation.
I'm doing too much talking. You gotta talk.
You Gucci.
I'm listening.
Listen, I'm so proud of you. I don't have to say nothing. You listen. I remember when it was a time we couldn't even get you on camera. So
I know, and I know, and actually, you honestly, she Neighborhood Hope Dealer pep talked me through that. You all see, I need help too sometimes. I always need help. I love helping, and I love receiving help, and I'm not afraid to actually. I love to collaborate with my spiritual team and the Mystical Illuminations family. I love all of this stuff. And I'm very humble in that sense. Everybody, I love it, because if I'm not thinking right, I need somebody that's going to help me think right for a minute. It's like, all right, Marcy Pope, reel yourself around. Because a lot of times we get in our own shit. We all do. We're not different from anybody else. That's what I always tell people. Do not look at me when you're sitting. I can read all day for you, but I'm still living my own life. You know, we are still living our own lives, and we still go through things ourselves too. You know, so, but it helps me to read for people and to, you know, that's my passion. So that's another thing too. When you're in your passion and you're doing what you love to do, that's not even work. You know what I mean? It's like,
that's why it's super hard for me. Like, it's hard for me to just be like, I'm gonna charge you for some help. You need some help? Come on, let's help.
yeah.
But that's like, I do this, like, especially my reading. I mostly do it for free. I do it on the side, and because I just want to help people. My God has blessed me, you know, enough to where I don't need that, you know, and so I can really help. I don't have to, like, I don't need anything from you. I can give freely from a place from a reserve of joy or love. And I only read when I'm in a certain energy. I don't read when I'm not in an energy of abundance and overflow, because they tell you don't give from reserve, but that don't give from your reserve, but like, that's not only in money, that's in life. So
right.
but I
that's true though. Yeah, you can't get from an empty cup. Nope.
A lot of people don't know that either. Like,
no, this is my, when I put a lot into a lot of the things. Hey Ja.
was in boot.
No, you put a lot into like all of our creations and stuff, and a lot of times I give away a lot. I give away a lot too, always.
I'm sure I know.
I will always know. Yeah, I always know kind of who needs what. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of times, yeah. Wherever I'm at, I actually wherever I'm at. Even when I was doing shows and traveling, that was always in the back of my mind. It was kind of like they didn't know it when they sat down, but there was always somebody that I was like, okay, yeah, it's it. You know, I've had people write me messages and stuff. I read for a gal in Alaska. I was like thinking, was she really watching? Like, was she really watching me? Because I'm like, I told because I'm humble, because she wrote me this whole nice thing, and it was kind of like a month later that I knew to read. I mean, I did respond to her after she wrote it all out, but I was just thinking about this the other night, and I literally stood in my kitchen and cried, but they were tears of joy because I was on the call with her, and I could feel her heart like rush through that phone, and her and how happy she was, you know what I mean? And it was that time that she really needed help, and she really needed it. Something just unlocked, but it's not ever me. I give all glory to the divine for sure. But it's equally as rewarding to me, or in that sheer moment of gratitude. You know what I mean? To like, oh my God, this is the wild. You can't make it up. You know what I mean?
And so what your guidance is probably the reason why I still read, because you said in one of our it may have been the very first episode, you were like, what you say is not like, it's not for you, it's for them. It's just like the mailman doesn't read your mail. You know what I'm saying? And
to trust yourself. It doesn't matter whether, because you know, it doesn't matter whether you think you're right or wrong or not.
Yeah.
You know, I'll tell you what, if you get even reading for people, I've gotten some crazy ass messages like that, stuff that I don't even, you know, like I'm thinking I'm not gonna say that, and then all of a sudden it keeps knocking on my door, and I was like, boop, I'm saying it, because that's where I kind of gain, you know, you just got to trust yourself. And even when we're reading these cards, I don't read nothing like entrepreneurship. I don't read even tarot. I don't even read tarot traditionally. I'll throw my cards wherever I'm guided to do it. But I know it's hard for people to let go a lot of times in that sense, because I am where when I do that I don't question none of that, because it's probably the makeup of my chart. I do that stuff very easy. I trust myself very easily that way, you know, when I'm being guided to do something spiritually. And I'm kind of a big advocate. I've always, and people I probably say it every time I'm on here talking or on anything. I want people to believe in themselves and their own magic. I want people to believe in their own skill. It's like, because everything's so uniformed. well, do it this way or do it that way. No, do whatever the hell way you want and stop worrying about whether you're wrong or right or not. Because
when you do it that way, when it feel good, do it until it feel good.
Right. But I mean, it's like, I think that everybody's like, it's not about the validation, or we all read, everybody in the whole life. You can read something in a textbook, but you can read something in the textbook, but don't be afraid. Just like the hairdresser, they show you, anything. They show you the basic skills, the basic way to do it, right? But it's the people that decide to walk outside of that box that is really, it's like, it's revolutionary. You can, that's your brand. And that's why there's truly enough for everybody. We all have a piece of this beautiful puzzle, and we all are here for each other.
Puzzle, like we need everybody's in the, when you try to be somebody else, then that means you're not being the piece you need to be for the puzzle for humanity.
Right.
Whatever it is, be yourself. But people are scared to be themselves because they want that outside validation. Like I said, as you go on a journey to only come back and realize what you need is inside of you. And you know, I wish it was that simple. I wish that I could just say that to somebody and they understand what I mean and they take it and go with it. But it's you don't understand it until you actually go through it. It's like empathy versus sympathy.
Right. And we all go through it. Doesn't matter who you are. That's what we're here for. That's this life. You know what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing. I mean, and it is cool. It's like, man, it doesn't feel that cool when you're going through some shit. But you're like, but
it's worth it though. It's definitely
right. But when you actually, when everything settles down and you see the clear picture, then that's in there. Like I said, it's everything that everybody reads about. It didn't happen to you. It happened for you. Left to your own device. And that's the shaken to awaken moments. Left to your own device. If you're gonna stay in something, it's like, okay, that's why we do learn the hard way. If you're supposed to exit a situation or exit the job or whatever, then all of a sudden stuff's just going to get worse there. And that's like when people are looking for their guidance or their validations, it's like, no, that is the guidance. That's the validation. It's that simple. It's like it keeps getting worse. When it's getting worse, it's not going to fucking get better. I promise you. That means to move. That means to shift or move. Do something.
Yes.
And it's almost like people, I think, we're I've been guilty of it too. I'm not, like I said, I ain't better than nobody. So it's almost like that little meme with the little girl with the little teddy bear. It's like, okay, this is what I got right now, and this is safe. But then there's the big teddy bear behind the back. It all applies. So the things you literally are afraid of is where your victory is.
It's the It's the 8 of Cups in tarot. It's the 8 of Cups and the Fool, and then the World. Like that's what that spread like.
Or afraid to make that. Yeah, just afraid to make that move. It's like, no, because you can't fuck anything up. You're not either. If you go left and you were supposed to go right, you're just gonna meet some people, some other people, and you're still gonna get redirected. Yeah. So you're just changing timelines.
I ask people that shit all the time. What would you do? You can't fail. What would you do? How would you move?
Right. And that's the fun parts in it. I laugh at myself all the time. I just find everything comical. I have to sometimes because I'm so emotional. But actually, wait. So I'll be joking about things I shouldn't. I just laugh about everything.
Look, so listen. I got these cards from J-Lo, right? Shout out to fucking J-Lo. Thank you for the gifts, my love. I appreciate you. Thank you. But I want to read one of them. I'm called to. Can I read one?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So I was shuffling. I don't know if y'all saw me shuffling as we started. But crystal key. So let's hope this ties into today's light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel, the process of the light, of getting to the light at the end of the tunnel is an interesting one. And I feel like, and as I look for this, a lot of people, especially when they're waiting, when they're on their way to that light at the end of the tunnel, that's when I feel like they start to binge. Like they go to tarot or they go to spiritualists, they go to something because they don't know what's next. because they're in fear. Like, I've done all of the work, but have I been good enough? What does my future say? Have I been bad enough? You know what I'm saying? So, like, the light at the end of the tunnel could get stressful. Just ride the wave, like a certain.
Yeah, it's a whole present moment, being in the flow of everything.
All right, so I'm gonna read. It says divinatory meaning. It says, be inspired to find wisdom hidden in those times when you feel triggered. There's so much information within our raw and intense reaction that when we choose to be present with what is coming up and peel back the layers, great spiritual insight will unveil itself in a way tailored just for you. If we could all learn to see our triggers in a bigger picture, so much confrontation and upset would be lessened, our struggles and fear would be diminished, and we would see greater compassion across the planet. Perspective and misunderstanding would shift, and the way that people want to be loved will be experienced without distortion. These are seeds on earth.
That's actually beautiful, because I do have a friend that always says if people would let everybody be themselves, that's all, you know what I mean? Those are beautiful cards. Are those Lemurian cards?
Yeah, these are the Lemurian cards. When I got these cards,
I need a deck of those.
Oh
my! Those are pretty.
These are gorgeous. Like, I feel like they dance. Like, certain cards just dance.
They'll come alive. Yeah.
Yeah. She said Mount Shasta. I have to go to Mount Shasta. She said it's one of the cards that I pull. But she said that she went to Mount Shasta. It's said to be a place where a Lemurian portal is. And she said that's where she channeled these cards. So I don't know where it is, but I'm going.
Yeah. My aunt's in Cali right now, and she lives right on the water. And I'm gonna go out there for a couple weeks. I need to go out there because I feel like the portal there for me is on that ocean. Literally,
you guys, huge portal, and I don't think people get that. I do not fuck with the ocean. I love the beach, but I don't play with the water. I put my feet in, but that's it.
Well, yeah, no, I know, but just I'm not going deep sea diving. But I mean, just the actual being in the energy and do some videos off her little deck there, her patio, because like literally she sent me pictures. She's out there just like literally waking up to that water every day. I need that right now, and I'm going to do it.
They say it's in Cali. Oh shit, I'm going to Cali, y'all.
Yeah, Cali. Yep.
Sister in Seattle, so I'm going to Cali.
Yes, ma'am. Let me pull a card.
Let's go.
Oh, hey, somebody tell me a number. Tell me a number. I brought my number book too. 7. I like to break down numbers. 7?
I'm a 7 person.
Okay. All right. 7. Magic, manifestation, and divine inspiration. Yeah. Why you okay, here's okay, I thought about this, and this is so simple, but it's like our whole life we knew about 7-Eleven, right? Well, why do you think 7-Eleven did so good? 7's the most mystical number, and 11's the doors, the manifesting. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. Man, these mugs, they knew some astrology all the way back then.
Man, I love thinking about the older astrology.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, and then the actual message in the book with the 7 is the energy of magic is surrounding you. Align your thoughts with the highest. Hey, like you say. Man, that was our whole thing to talk about today.
All right.
I love it. Because we were talking really about light at the end of the tunnel, but transitioning the way you're thinking about things.
Yeah.
You know?
That helps you along the light, that helps you get to the light faster, and not faster, because there's no such thing as faster. It just makes the ride more comfortable.
And plus too in this in the 3D physical experience, I think that a lot of it's hard letting go, and it's like we're so afraid to lose some, what feels so good or what was so good at one time. You know what I'm saying? It's that whole letting go feeling too. Like,
Yeah. Just know when you let go, it's something better. Like God got something better for you. I will never cause pain without not allowing something new to be born. So, I got my Jesus cards. Okay. So shout out to J-Lo, and then we can wrap up. But she bought me some. It's 100 promises from Psalm. Um, what's that one?
Laughter is the best medicine. Yeah, right now we just got to chill back and just think about things. Archangel Raphael, thank you for reminding me to detach and find the humor and irony within every human drama. That's true. Because we got grown-ass adults out here acting like little fools.
Grown-ass adults that don't want to be grown adults. Don't know how to
Right.
when they need to be kids.
Mm-hmm. Hey, and you just got and I just pulled Jesus, the divine healer, while you're shuffling your Jesus cards.
he always show up for the girl.
Yep.
You know, he always show up for the girl. Oh, there's a lot of cards, but I'm gonna take them because it's Sunday. Because it's well, we're gonna get a boy some time on Sunday. All right, so I'm gonna read these and then we can wrap up. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna look at the comments.
It says the Lord delights in his people. He crowns the humble with victory. It says, surely God is my help. The Lord is the one who sustains me. He is the one who sustains your girl. It says, my integrity and uprightness preserves me, for I wait for you. But as for me, I will always have hope. I will praise you more and more. All right.
That's beautiful because actually we spoke on, see, that's why you can't make it up. No, we can never make it up. We spoke on all of those things. Every card that we interchangeably have pulled together has resonated with our live experience today.
Yay. All right, I got it. Look, so these how many came out, and I'm gonna read them because on Sundays I definitely give reverence to God. So I'm gonna spend some time with him. All right. It says, for everything there is a season and a time for every matter under heaven. It says, the Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up his contingents upon you and give you peace. All right, this is the quote. It says, it is good to do uncomfortable things. It is weight training for life. It says, be still and know that I am God. I am exalted among the nations. I am exalted in the earth. It says, she is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. And she laughs without fear of the future. It says, but those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like they will run and not grow weary. And they will walk and not faint.
That's all beautiful cards. All beautiful cards.
So that's what we got for today. This has been another episode of Transmutation Station with the majestic Magi and the neighborhood Hope Dealer. I feel like a sociopath when I speak about myself in third person. Like
I know. Actually, I channeled majestic Magi one day. It just came to me, and I did not. I was like literally nervous to actually even use it. You know what I mean? That's how.
yeah.
I was like, what the hell? And I was like, no, I channeled it, and I'm like, nope, I'm gonna step into this. Because it came to me for a reason. So, I mean, that's kind of, even when we're talking, that also coincides with even talking about charging for services and things like that. It's like when you don't look at yourself in certain ways, but we all are a beautiful part of this puzzle, and treat yourself accordingly.
Facts. Treat yourself accordingly and understand that if you're trying to be somebody else, then only you can make your puzzle piece. Only you can be the puzzle piece needed to create humanity. So, you want change, but change ain't happening because you ain't stepped into your own power.
Hey, you know what? We got to talk about one of these days. We got to talk about the psychological effects of plastic surgery. What's wrong with these surgeons, man? Because that ain't gonna change. That ain't gonna change what's going on in your head when you're looking in that mirror. If you can go to a plastic surgeon and say, I want to look like a whole different alteration, I would. If I was a plastic surgeon, I'd be like, you get the fuck out of my office right now. If it was one in integrity.
I'm gonna have you on Potheads with Ja, because she just was talking about this shit. Listen,
Was she?
yeah, she was just complaining about how people should not, how it fucks with the divine feminine, and I'm like, let these
It does.
motherfuckers come in body if they want to.
Well, that's well. I mean, there. I don't know. I mean, I have. But remember, we were talking before when you said you had a problem. I had. This is what I have a problem with, and this is just my opinion. My opinion.
Yeah,
Okay. I feel like it goes with that whole God gives us God's like so collectively God gives when they say give an inch and take a mile. I think that God gave the knowledge for plastic surgery for deformities, accident victims, things of that. If you have enough money and you're just gonna walk into a fucking office and say I want to look, I want to change this, like I just need a whole facelift and my whole body changed. That's not gonna change how you feel about yourself here or here. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's really, to me, that's very unethical because I like that. Or I've even experienced like in the medical field where women would go and get plastic surgery because their husband said that they had to. Because I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. Oh, we're getting divorced today.
I think that's what I told y'all. I think that's assuming a lot, and I think that's a case by case scenario. Everyone
Right.
who walks in there they don't have nothing. Somebody just really listen. I don't feel like going to the gym every day. Just suck this fat out. I'm fine. I'm probably gonna get fat, So we have people like that, but you do have people who have issues that want to look beautiful or think that there's a standard of beauty. Like I said, it's a case by case scenario, and for those
right.
people, I do think there should be some type of assistance or conversation before you have an abortion. They make you go to a counseling. They make you sit and wait or some shit like that. Somebody told me some bullshit that was a lie because I wouldn't got an abortion, but they do make you wait because they make you think about what it is you want to do. So you should have to think about really, do you want to do this and why you want to do this?
Right.
You can do what the fuck you want to do. I can't help you. Like that goes back to our whole conversation. Like we said, helping those people who don't want to be helped. I can't fucking help you at this point.
Right. Be honest. It just there's a player. There you go. Be honest with yourself. Yes. If you don't know yourself, you're definitely not going to know that new body or whatever you put yourself into, or even how it coincides with any major decision you make like that in your life. You need to be able to look at yourself and actually be here.
Yeah, like people don't want to. Yeah. I know all my demons. Them bitches and people don't want to admit the grimy things about themselves. But the moment you don't admit the grimy things about yourself, like you can't be yourself. You can't live your best you because like you acting like a part of you doesn't exist. Listen, I always tell people, I say, listen, I got sociopathic tendencies. I accept that. So because I do have sociopathic tendencies, I stay away from people who make me want to act on those.
Right. No, right. And I think, but that's the whole, we all have those parts, we all have those dark sides to us. Mm-hmm. And the thing about it is that, but you're right. Then don't, why let something steal your peace? I like Trent Shelton too. It's like, if you're in something that steals your peace or somebody's going to put you over that ledge, then don't even go there. Why?
No. Like I said, I wrote something on Twitter that was like, it's no amount of money that you could give me for my peace of mind. Listen, fuck that. Nah, my peace is invaluable. Like if you my peace, and it seems so petty, and you got to be careful with it because every little thing, like you're not gonna always be happy, but certain things, like if you perpetually interrupt my peace, you gotta fucking go. And I'm nice. Right. I might not even tell you. Right. Fucking with you no more, but I'll leave it, I'll walk away from it, I'll drop it because I've had my peace. I was at a place in my life where we talking about transmuting, where I didn't have any peace. Like no matter where I was, my own home, I didn't have peace. So if you fuck with now I got my peace back. Oh yeah, I'm never giving it away. Fuck.
Yeah. One of my big things is emotional abuse. It's like once you've been through those things, once you've been in those dark places or those places that you've healed from, it's like there ain't no fucking way you're going back. Mm-hmm. Like I am not letting. I don't deal with people emotionally abusing other people. I do not, especially in my home. When you were talking about your home, it's like you come in my fucking home and you're emotionally abusing me or somebody in my home, you need to fucking leave. Right. You can do that. You can do that on the street. You ain't doing it in my space.
I'll call you all about that shit. I don't give. We could be. call you out about that shit.
Yep.
Emotionally abused people, I don't like that shit. But that's because you've really been emotionally and you know, people think they'd be like, oh, my mom's a narcissist. So, you know, I've been emotional. Your mom ain't a fucking narcissist. You're a spoiled fucking brat. Cut it out. I'm really been emotionally abused. You know what I'm saying? Really felt like they was nuts because like somebody really was trying to make them feel like they was crazy, you know. So,
but the transition on that energy is ain't shit gonna, like, that gaslighting energy will never get over on me. I can fucking spot a mile away.
Yeah,
and I could, like, and you clip, like, fucking snap your finger and be like, gone.
Being gaslighted like shit.
Yeah. So those are the positives. Those are the positive. There's always a positive and a negative.
You gotta have both. You gotta have both. That's balance. Yeah. Anything in excess is poison, positive and negatives.
Yes.
It says, what would acting on that entail? Really appreciate any info trying to learn about mental health. Acting on what, dog? If you tell me what we was talking about, because we be going down rabbit holes. If you tell me,
yeah. I guess in general, like, it's very hard not to respond to people that are speaking negatively or, you know, sending negative shit to you. But really, when we were talking about when you're healing yourself and you're transitioning, that it's no different than gang violence. Think about it, because my first instinct is gonna, you know, we all have those thoughts in our head, right? Yeah, your first thoughts are always gonna be like, fuck you, who the fuck you think you are? And then you're going to go to that whole defense thing. Well, but you ain't never going to be able to prove anybody what your truth is your truth. So what you know in your heart to be true is the only thing you got to worry about. It doesn't worry about people are always going to be projecting things. Now, part two, you actually stop that energy in motion, even though it's hard not to respond, because your ego is first going to want to respond and be like, you know, fuck no, this is that, you know, but it's harder to not respond, but you're also, like I said, you got God's armor, you got God's shield up, and it's actually stopping that energy in mid-action, because then they can face themselves and they can say, or the thing at that everything, they can face themselves and they can stay in that frequency and entertain people that are going to entertain them in that way. You know what I'm saying? That's not stopping you from jumping over. That's why it's bigger than any of us. You can stop energy in mid-action. If we're thinking about gang, okay, and the best thing is like gang violence or, you know, any of that. It's like, okay, hate breeds hate, love breeds love. That's what I mean. You can stop it. It's like you can't stop other people, but you can choose how you respond. And it is hard sometimes. Believe me, there's sometimes I want to shoot a text back. They'll be like, you know, but the thought alone is like, okay, you're lucky I'm not trying to hurt you the way you were trying to hurt me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, but it's a bigger picture than that, than just that surface moment in the 3D reality that would, if you did respond at that moment, was just about you. If you think about the bigger picture of it all, it's not about what you're doing to you. It's about how can you heal a collective within the next statement or the next thing you're about to say.
That part. So let me respond to chaos while I remember. I'm in that moment. You said, okay, so what we're acting on that entail. Really appreciate any info. Been trying to learn about mental health, and then I asked you on what, and you said acting on social tendencies. So that's an illusion. I like to use my words to paint a picture. So what that would mean is anything that's not healthy. Like you hurt me, I want to hurt you back. You do something bad to me, so I do something bad to you back. I think that's a sociopathic tendency. You hurt and making. It was a point I remember being really like I'll say for the purpose of this conversation, mid spiritual transformation, where I remember laying in my bed just screaming to the top of my lungs. I wanted the hurt to stop because my heart hurt. Because I couldn't believe that a thing like that had happened to me. Like it hurt me as a human, and it hurt me as it just kind of it ripped the reality from in front of me. It was that moment where I knew, as she said, as Majestic Magi said, like it kept getting worse, it kept getting worse and kept getting worse, but I thought it was going to get better, but it didn't. And so because I did not leave, because I did not walk away from that thing, like my reality was ripped from in front of me. And I was in pain. I was spiritually, mentally in pain. And so I wanted to hurt him like he hurt me. Like I wanted him to feel as much pain as I felt in that time and in that moment. That's sociopathic. Fuck it, it's real life. And I wanted to trust me. I think I probably could have came up with 1,000 ways to make him feel the way I felt, but I chose not to. I chose not even I chose to forgive him. I felt those things. I talked about them. I screamed them. I wrote them down and like burned it, get it out of me, because that's how you transmute those things. That's how you take those things and get them out of, because they're going to be, if you don't say anything, if you don't talk them, you don't release them, they're inside of you. Tell somebody, talk to somebody. The moment I kicked them, I was going to therapy. The moment I kicked them out of my house, my therapist told me I didn't need them no more. You know, so when I say sociopathic tendencies and acting on them, that's what I mean. Actually hurting other people. I'm not called to do that. And I tell people all the time, the thing that happens with me is like my gift, or one of my gifts is, the more you hurt me, the more I love. It's a fucked up gift, I think. I think, that's why I say God has a sense of humor, but it's the softer I become, the more compassionate I become. And so it's like the worse you do to me, the bigger my heart gets. And it's huge right now, you know what I'm saying? So like, so I'm the epitome of, the devil meant it for my bad, but God meant it for my good. But listen, I would rather my heart not be this big sometimes, because, in order for me to be the person I am, I had to go through a lot to get it. And so that goes to me telling people, I want to be as strong as you. I want to you don't want this life. I ain't choose this life. This life chose me,
right. Well, yeah, but you're gonna go through it anyway. So would you rather go freely, or with your feet dragging in the sand like this? Yeah, I agree though, totally. You said it perfectly. In different forms. That's exactly what it is. I was like, it's the whole analogy. It's like the whole God forgive them, for they know not what they do, because your response is actually your shield. Your shield of protection. You have your armor, you have your godly armor. We're responsible for ourselves. It is very sad sometimes, and that does almost borderline sound judgment. But I think when you have that much love in your heart and you can feel that much, that I'm grateful for my gift, because I can feel that much. You know what I mean? I'm grateful for it, and it is hard, like you said. Sometimes it's very hard. But it's not in that victim mode. It's just when you can actually see or feel the soul. So you can see their soul, but you cannot, you can see and feel their soul in their pure raw form of innocence, but you also have to, know when you can't do nothing, and you just gotta step into your own frequency and your own level. But that is what you can do. That is how you are helping. That's the vibrational energy of Jesus.
Hard conversation, and that's a hard lesson to learn. It was a very, very tough lesson. But now that I learned it, like you said, it's like the gaslighting. You can't ever gaslight. I can spot a gaslighter from a mile away.
Yeah, so those are your spidey senses, your superhero skills.
I wanted to say, I learned to thank everything that comes in my life. So as a practice of, and I think this is a great way to close this out, as a practice of really, going into the new, I thank all of my teachers. I thank everybody who ever hurt me. And I don't thank them in a cynical way. I don't thank them in an angry way. Like, I thank them in a grateful way. Thank you for all that you taught me. Thank you for all that you showed me, because without the lessons that you taught me, Sensei, whoever you are, I would not be able to walk into the new and survive. So
that's true.
Created for myself, now I can sustain the life that I have because of what you taught me. So I thank you, and I humbly and I release you. I let you go. I don't hate you. I'm not mad at you. I don't have any energy for that, because I need to put all of my energy into the new. And a lot of people get stuck in the I hate you, or I'm mad at you, or I can't believe you did to me, or I got a hold of. I have no regrets. I have no anything. I enjoy because it wasn't. I enjoyed my life with you. I enjoyed the good and the bad. Now it's time for me to graciously move to the next place in my life. I hope that you enjoy your life. I hope that you enjoy everything that you have. I don't wish any bad on you. I only wish blessings to you, and then I move forward. So that's how. Like, you know, you what you wish to others is what comes to you. So I don't wish ill on people. I don't care what they did to me. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, because you're only stopping yourself. You know what I mean? It's like the people are responsible for their own things. That's what everybody. And it's as simple as that, really. Like even eye for an eye in the Bible, I believe I feel it equates to the karmic balance. The karmic balance. It's not let me go fuck you up. It means eye for an eye. It means the universe is going to readjust and balance it all out.
Yeah,
I don't need to control it any faster. They already fucked themselves when they fucked me over. I don't care to hurt nobody.
You lost me.
Right. You lost my love. No, you got my love, but you lost me in a different way. You know what I mean? Like I always have a space for you and wish you well, like you said, but you just lost being in my presence.
Yeah, you can't be in my presence anymore. People be wanting to be in your presence. Nah, you can't. I won't even answer the phone for you. Why are we talking? What are we doing?
Your energy's precious. For sure.
They want me for my energy. I don't have time for it. So that's the thing too. And you got to learn how to not be, you know, take offense to that, because once you grow into the person you want to be, then people are gonna be mad at you because you don't want to be around no more. And that's another conversation for another day.
We could start writing spiritual thank you notes for people never to call you again once you get through that. I would like to thank you and I release you. And here's a $2 scratch off for you never to call me again. I hope you win.
Not fuck with you. I don't fuck with you. We need to sing it cards.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right. Well, I'm hopping off of here with you. Thank you guys for tuning in with us. Catch us next month. I don't know what time. I got to get it together, Marcy. My job has been having me do all kind of crazy shit. So, so maybe it's a Sunday again, or maybe it's a Monday. But I know we'll be back on Mondays in November for sure.
For sure. Thank you all. It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Neighborhood Hope Dealer. God bless you all. Have a beautiful and hey, take care of yourselves and don't be afraid to shake up some shit and make some moves.
Don't be afraid to shake up some shit and make some moves. All right, guys. We'll talk to you next time.